Do you think hopping on a cock is going to catch on?
Hopping on a cock. Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
You're the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
I'm Larry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
It isn't as delayed as it was.
It's good.
It's getting a little better.
Good. We're getting better.
The sound quality might sound a little off because we're doing things a little different. Just editing time, just because of the service I have and where I'm at, it's about twice as long as the episode. So the last episode took me 3 hours. The episode before took me 5 hours. So this is actually through our Discord, through my phone, through the mixer. And for some reason, the quality of this is, or what, the delay. There is no delay, and we're not getting any feedback stuff. So
I think the big reason for this as well, for me personally, is that I know the last couple episodes you've cut some of the stuff that I've said out.
Yeah.
And I want it all here. I just want it all here, clear, not digitized at all.
Some of it I told you, I was like, yeah, it's just, that point you made was really good, but I had to cut it because it just didn't sound good. When in actuality, I just didn't like what you said and I cut it out.
Fair enough. I'll never know.
Yeah, I delete the master copy after we're all done, after I have it edited. So yeah, you will never know.
It's on your computer. So even if you didn't delete it, I'm not like Mission Impossible. Click, 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 click.
I want to see what my point was that he deleted. That bastard.
I totally forgot.
Okay, so we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. Actually, this is a good idea. Lowry actually has been kind of talking to me about this. We've been talking back and forth about it. The numbers have dropped off quite a bit, and talked
okay.
about. Yeah, no, it's fine. I get it, because the thing is people aren't commuting right now, so it's kind of hard to listen to podcasts. And you made a good point when we were texting back and forth that, maybe we should shorten up our episodes, because that's kind of the daunting thing. Is we had an hour and a half episode followed by another hour and a half episode. And with people not commuting, I mean, that takes like freaking a week to listen to one episode. And I know my normal casts, I only listen to maybe one and a half, and I don't even listen to all of them. Stuff that I normally would have a daily cast that I'd listen to every day. I don't right now. It's just because I don't have time. With the kids not being in school or in daycare, they're around all the time, so I really can't. And I don't know if that's the same for you. You only had a couple that you were listening to, but I don't know if you've noticed anything different with how you do things as your habits change.
My biggest thing is like my kid's not taking as long a nap anymore, so I don't.
You don't have your free time.
I don't have as much time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think, shortening the episodes, and maybe we're going to be putting out more than one a week.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of the goal, is to just like break it up into more manageable segments or just episodes for people to be able to listen to. And then you're also able to pick and choose. If you're like, I don't really care about that one, I don't have to listen to it, that's fine. Just click on it and then exit out, and then we get the numbers.
Good point, Larry. Good point. Way to sell that. That's good. Give us our downloads. That's all we care about. But that is a good point. It's going to be more in the format of one segment episodes. And so this one, as of right now, so we're going to be recording a couple here in a row. This one is episode 113. If you're bugged by the quality right now, just let you know, probably by our next episode, a couple of things may have happened. Most likely Lowry will have his second child. And that's actually why we're going to record a couple in a row, because we don't know when baby number 2 is coming. And
any day. We thought it was going to be yesterday.
Yeah, we almost recorded yesterday because we were like, oh shit, we got to get this done because you're going to have baby. And we're so that's one. And then 2, I'm actually should be in my house by that point. And actually I'm getting my internet started this week on Monday. So if you hate the quality of this episode or the next couple, it'll get better because we'll have a lot better service and stuff. We still won't be together, which kind of sucks. I won't be able to see Lowry or the new baby what was their baby's name again? Or do you mind saying?
It's going to be Elise.
Elise. I like it. What planeswalker is that? I don't know that one.
I could not. It's a German name, and so it's wasn't able to get a planeswalker in there at all. Fairly disappointed in myself.
Not mad, just disappointed, Lowry.
See, I'll just nickname her
what would you name?
A planeswalker.
I could
probably do that.
What's an E planeswalker name?
I don't know if it has to be E, just one that I like. And we're like, hey, Kiora. Why do you call me that?
It doesn't even make sense. I just like calling her Karn, Ugin.
Hey, Karn, come in for dinner.
Is his kid a girl? Why is he calling her Karn? That's weird.
Karn's just a robot with a male spark, but whatever.
Oh, so yeah, so that's the gist of this. We're going to be doing this way. Let us know if you guys like this version. We actually kind of polled some people. Well, people on our Discord thought it was a good idea. I talked to a few people and they thought it was a good idea. And so we're going to test this out, see how this works for a little bit. But some things we are going to be going a little more, not more. We're just making more our YouTube presence. So I guess more. We're just not taking away from the podcast. We just might do some more things. We're starting to transition a little bit more. I have started the Proxy Time videos. So if you ever want to see, want to post on Twitter the Proxy of the Week stuff, you can see how each of those cards are made that week. I'm going to try to do that. Some weeks it might not work out and I might just post the Proxy of the Week card, but I'm going to try to do that as a weekly thing because it actually isn't too difficult to cut that up and everything because I just record, there are no cuts during it and I just post it basically. So
I think it's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
So.
And then we have a couple other ideas that we'll get to later, but I think we have some pretty sweet stuff lined up here. So this week's episode, what are we talking about this week though?
We are just going to focus on the legends from Ikoria. There we go.
There we go.
I'm going to fuck up the name. I'm looking at the words right now. Ikoria, Layer of Behemoth.
No,
we're just going to run through the legends and see what we like or dislike about them.
You didn't mess up reading. It was our connection. That's what happened, right?
Yeah, totally. That's what I meant to say.
Before we get to that, we have a couple things to talk about. We have a new patron, Brother Joe, which actually is my brother who donated or is now a patron.
Really? I thought he was Catholic.
Yeah, Brother Joe. So thanks, Joe, for supporting the show. That's awesome, especially during this time. It's crazy to get new people, supporting the show and stuff. The Discord is a big thing that people have jumped on. We've been playing a little bit. Did you play any games last week? I think you were busy with the...
last week I got one in. This week I haven't, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you've been playing on the webcam stuff.
Paper.
Yep. Yeah. And I've been doing the cockatrice stuff. So we've been playing with people.
Do you think hopping on a cock is going to catch on?
Hopping on a cock. This is going to be like inside whatever, but the bread emoji thing went crazy yesterday. Derek jumped on and was like, hey, how's it going? And Laurie just threw out a bread emoji. Not an emoji. Yeah, the
bread emoji.
Yeah. He's like...
on Discord as well.
Bread?
Somebody, I think Zero Cool did a bread emoji joke. And then I was able to respond with not a thumbs up, but also a loaf of bread. It was
really dumb,
I'm enjoying the
but it was
emoji.
Really funny. It went on for a really, really long time. Bread. Seriously though, what was behind that? Like, why did you text bread? It turned out to be really funny, but what enticed you to go bread?
I have no idea. I saw it and it was. I always just do like the thumbs up or a smiley face. And I'm like, bread sounds good. Because I don't know if you remember, like a year or two, I used to emoji like the dolphin with a rainbow over the top, and then like randomly.
I don't remember that.
I might have done that to my mom more, and she was just like, "What?" That might be my new dolphin with a rainbow emoji. So
I would just wanted to know what was going through your head because it was just like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But then the jokes that ensued was awesome. It was pure gold. All right. Okay. So again, you guys can go on Patreon. That's where you guys can donate to the show. You can become a member of the Discord, chat on there. You can play games with us on there. Also can get the Proxy of the Week. The free way to support the show is go to YouTube and subscribe there, especially since we're going to be starting more videos and stuff there. That might be a good thing to do. And then what else do we have left? Twitter.
You can always email us. If you're missing the songs, then you do the work, and then we will sing it.
Yeah. As you notice, we didn't do songs again, but that's because we're doing 3 in a row. And just this new format, there's just so many episodes we're doing. If you really, really like the songs, like Larry just said, send us some and then we'll do them. Maybe.
Well, we're not going to cut it out. We're just not going to do the work for it. I mean, let's be honest.
We're lazy.
That was a little too honest, but okay.
No, there's just so many other things we have to plan for and get ready for. Well, it is. We're doing a lot more stuff lately. I mean, the Discord itself it's a lot more stuff. We're interacting with a lot of people on there, and it's a lot of fun. It's just like a constant text string that's going. So, but between Magic nerds.
Are you drinking anything?
I had been before we started. No beer.
Well, then we don't want to talk about that.
Okay, because I'm drinking a. What are you drinking?
I got a Beaver Island Brewing from St. Cloud. This one's called Sweet Miss Oatmeal Stout.
I like that
chocolate oatmeal milk stout. Oh, you like it?
Yep, that one I like. I know you didn't like that one as much.
It's pretty good.
Or is it the peanut butter?
Having it.
No, it's the peanut butter one that you didn't like from them.
Possible. I don't like any peanut butter ones other than like 2 at this point.
Yeah. You said that one a couple weeks ago you liked. You said it was one of the better ones that you liked. I'm having Malibu Black, which is like has the taste of Malibu, but the percentage of alcohol as Captain Morgan. So
what's wrong?
What's wrong?
Why are you drinking your sorrows away? What the fuck?
I had to make a mixed drink for myself and Cindy before or during dinner, and I'm still drinking it. So
okay,
there's that.
Oh, so you're milking it. Okay, I'm having a milk stout. You're milking your drink.
Same
thing.
Well, I got to make this last 3 episodes. I mean, come on. That's funny. We're trying to do these shorter episodes. We're freaking almost 15 minutes in, just bullshitting. We haven't got to the. Let's get to our damn card.
Well, everybody, that's the episode.
Yeah, segment 1. We'll catch you on episode 114 where we actually talk about the cards.
Every other episode is us BSing and just hyping up the next episode, which is actually talking about it.
Oh, man.
Then we never actually talk about cards again.
I would get so pissed if I was a listener. I'm like, fuck those guys.
Okay, let's get to it. Legends from Ikoria, Lair of Behemoth.
Did you hear the chimes? You talked over the chimes.
I did. I missed it. I felt bad about it because I only. Me too.
Okay. So
no, you got it. You like this one.
No. I was just gonna say. You start with the first one. I was just gonna say, with all these cards, not all of them, but a lot of them have like 3 different printings with it. So I know everybody's probably already seen all this stuff. But we're just reiterating the legends. We have the Godzilla stuff. So if you buy the collector boosters, you have what did you read before we actually got on?
Well, yeah, collector. So if you buy a box, pre-order it from a WPN store, you're going to get like a promo, and then there's a box topper. Buy a box and then a special one. And if you pre-order it, you'll get 2 Godzillas. And then in the collector's boosters, there's 1 dedicated slot towards a Godzilla card. And that's not only legends. There are some uncommons and rares that also got the treatment.
Yeah.
That's how you get the Godzilla cards if you were so inclined.
Yeah. All right. So the first one we're going to start with is, we're just going alphabetical, is it's Brocass or Brokos Apex.
Oh no, Brocass. That's the best one.
Yeah,
Brocass.
Brocass Apex of Forever. It just sounds weird. But it's 2
Yes.
black, green, and blue for a, oh man, I don't have my creature type. There we go. Nightmare Beast Elemental. One thing that was interesting with all these, I did see somebody post this on Twitter. Each color represents what it is. You know, like the black, if it's a black, each one we're going to have 3
Nightmare
types.
goes to swamp,
Yeah.
Beast goes to forest, Elemental goes to blue.
Yeah.
All in the same order of the mana type.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So we talked about mutate before our last 2 episodes, so we don't really need to go over it again, but this has a mutate of 2, what is it? Dimir. So blue or black, and then green. This is a 6/6 trampler. And then it's an interesting thing is that you can cast this from your graveyard by using its mutate ability.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a continuous going to your graveyard. If this is your commander, I guess it's interesting because you're never putting your commands on, you just put it in your graveyard, and you just keep casting it for the same cost, and not getting the commander tax. But would you use this as a commander? I mean, you could put it on small creatures, like 1 drops, 2 drops, or whatever, that becomes 6/6 tramplers, or something that has an effect if they deal damage. But this one doesn't excite me to be my commander necessarily. What are you thinking?
I don't think this one didn't spark anything for me as my commander. I think this goes in like those self-mill decks, and then being able to cast it from your graveyard is really nice.
So as a 99 instead of your actual commander.
Yeah. So like I was thinking like if this could go into like Sidisi Brood Tyrant where you mill it into your graveyard, then you can staple it onto like a 2/2 zombie and just basically get rid of it, and you made a 6/6 trampler or something,
And the cool thing,
that's how I see this.
At that point is then it's just continuously in your graveyard if you get it out, as long as it's, part of your 99, then you can keep casting this thing as long as it doesn't get exiled.
Yeah.
So all right, let's move on to the next one.
Oh, Bane of Monsters.
Chevelle. I wish I would have
Chevelle.
Chevelle. The band Chevelle. I should have had this all queued up.
You want to play that sounder with hard rock?
Oh yeah, hang on. Let me pull the volume down and Chevelle.
Holy Chevelle. They're gonna copyright this one. We're in trouble. Chevelle, Bane of Monsters. It's a black, green, swamp, forest, legendary creature, human rogue. It's a 1/3 death touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no permanents with bounty counters on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Gain 3 life and draw a card.
We talked about this one on the Discord a couple of weeks ago. Just so disappointed with this one.
Sure. Because you can't have more, like this can't give more than 1 bounty counter if it's in play.
Right. You can do other creatures giving bounty counters, but they don't fit the colors, like with that vampire that you made a deck with that does
Mathis and Chevelle would be great together, but they can't be.
It's
and
a partner,
then bounty
right?
hunter. Yeah, that'd be fucking sweet. I'd be down for a partner with Chevelle and Mathis for sure.
It would work perfect because it'd be a 3 color at that point.
3 cards that deal with bounty counters, and 2 of them can't be played together in their own deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's no benefit to him putting bounties besides the player that does it. The thing about Mathis, when you put it on their creature, whoever kills that creature, everybody gets a benefit from that. It's not besides the person that has that creature. This is like, hey, at least in Commander, it's like, hey, I'm putting this counter on it. You guys should kill it so I can gain 3 life and draw a card. Fuck no, they're not going to do that. Unless
it's causing havoc against them.
Right. So
then they might. But like, if you put a bounty counter on the biggest thing and everybody's like, if you attack me, I'm going to kill it. But if you don't, you're fine. Like that can be a detriment almost. You know? And then they're like, well, I'm just going to attack you. I guess you got a 1/3 death touch, but again, all right.
Yeah. I don't know. This card missed for me. I mean, it might be good for the other formats, but our format, I don't really see you playing this card.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not like putting, like, if you, like, proliferate and get another bounty counter on it, doesn't mean that you get to gain 6 and draw 2.
Right. It's just...
it's just the one.
3 and draw a card. Yeah. All right, next one is General Kudro of Dranith. 1 white black for a legendary human soldier. Other humans you control get 1/1. When General Kudro or another human enters the battlefield under your control, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. Tap 2, sacrifice 2 humans, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Would you play this in a human deck? Like, would you do a human tribal? You're trying to sacrifice 2 humans.
For sure. You're doing human tribal with this guy.
Yeah. Is it...
It's kind of like he's graveyard hate, he's an anthem, and then he also removes when you're sacrificing.
Mm-hmm.
And, 3/3 for 3. Like, the stats all kind of check out. There's a lot of weak-ish things going on, but I think combined they make it pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty decent.
I like the destroying a target creature, like especially if you're able to pump out little humans.
Yeah, I think I would like that. Of course, I would like it a lot more if it didn't have the stipulation of power 4 or greater, but that's still good. I mean,
I would like it better if I didn't have to sacrifice 2 humans, just pay 2 to destroy a target creature. That'd be better.
I would like it better if it just said tap a human, and then you don't even have to tap mana. You can just tap the human.
I think I would actually like it better if you just looked at a card while this is in play and then destroyed it.
I think we need to do a new segment that is take a card and then just completely change it. This is how this card should be, and then that should be our segment. Could be fun.
And then also drop the colorless, so it's just black-white.
Yeah. Actually, that might not be a bad idea.
Maybe a hybrid black-white right there.
It might not be a bad idea for a segment, is just go through like bad cards and making them really good.
Ooh. I don't dislike that idea.
Yeah. And then we can start making proxies, like actually make those cards.
Okay.
Yeah, this one I would say is your, if anything, it's not in your 99 necessarily, right? I mean, because you're going to be playing a human tribal, so you're going to kind of want this as your general. But it's not. I don't
really know where else to put it.
All right. I'm not excited about it, but it's interesting. The next one, which is something that we haven't talked about on the podcast yet, but why don't you?
Companion. So Garuda, this guy's rude. Doom of Death.
That was so
colorless.
Lame.
That was good.
So
4 colorless. Demir. It's a Demon Kraken 6/6.
The Kraken.
And then I'm just gonna do the normal thing and then
come back to companion.
Single out companion. So when Garuda enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into the graveyard. Put a creature card with an even converted mana cost from among those cards onto the battlefield under your control. That seems pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Companion is something very new, very different. Your starting deck contains only cards with even converted mana costs. And if you do that, if this card is your chosen companion, you may cast it once from outside the game.
So we have...
And so what that is, it's like in your hand.
Yeah, Commander having 101 cards now.
If you're playing with this, and then you have to do the stipulation of starting deck contains only cards with even converted mana costs.
So no Soul Rings, no Sensei's Tops. You can't have any of those cards in here.
That's a big thing. And then also your commander has to comply with that as well.
Mm-hmm. But then this is automatically in your hand, which is kind of, it's like a part of your hand.
And you're only casting, it does say only once from outside the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it doesn't go back to the companion zone.
Damn, they should have opened up another zone. I mean, we have the adventure zone, we have the command zone, the companion zone,
graveyard.
Well, so, you know what this reminds me of? Was it Tiny Leaders, or no? What was that one that was like you had your commander and then you had like your general and your there was something.
Oh, Capcom. That wasn't a real thing. We wanted to do that. Captain Commander.
Was that us making that up?
No. It was something. It was called something else.
Yeah, but where you can't cast your commander until your captain comes out first. That was what we were kind of Anyways, that's all cut.
But your starting deck contains like that restriction only happens if it's the companion.
Yeah.
I think this is a cool commander. I think it's cool in the 99. I think it's a solid card. And the companion part
that really puts a handcuff on you.
Yeah, but I have seen people commenting on Twitter saying like it's legit having that extra card when you can play it whenever you can is straight legit, even going with those restrictions. So I think it'll be interesting. I think it's weird that we have 101 card decks now.
Who cares? We already have 100. So what does one more add? And tokens. Are we
able to have multiple companions? If you're able to meet all of them?
Man, I don't. That's a good question. I thought it was only one. Because I've never seen anybody say one but that's a good question. I haven't seen anyone even bring that up.
I guess if this card is your chosen companion, so maybe you can only choose to have one companion.
Yeah, I think it is.
That makes, I guess, more sense.
It'd be funny though if you could have more than one and you had to meet all the different stipulations.
Oh boy.
Yeah. We'll get to the other ones in a bit, but that'd be a interesting deck where there's only one way to build it because there's only these cards that fit that mold.
You just have all land.
The other part of it is, like you said, it'd have to be 5-color commander. It'd have to be an even 5-color commander for this one to fit in there. Yeah. Anyways. All right. Next one is Aluna Apex of Wishes. This is 2 green, blue, and red for a beast elemental dinosaur. So the dinosaur is the red part. It has a mutate cost of 3. Lowry.
Rule.
Yeah, I always want to go
3 rule, 2 blue.
Yeah, I want to go 3 stomping ground, blue. Flying trample. Whenever this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land permanent card. Put that card on the battlefield or into your hand. So I do like that option of most of the time, 99.9% of the time, you'll probably put that onto the battlefield. But there might be some cases where you don't want it to be into the battlefield yet. So I do like that it has that option of it can go into your hand.
Now this feels like a really cool cascade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you can just set that up.
This could be a fun commander. This one I can see playing a little bit more with more mutate cards, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And so you can mutate it a bit more. But yeah, I think that's a pretty cool card for sure.
All right. You get the next companion. It's Jenga. Jenga. Except it's
like
not.
Sega? Was that like
yeah.
Did Sega buy Jenga when we were kids? I don't know. Gantha, the Wellspring, 4 colorless and a Gruul for a 5/5 elemental elk. It has a companion. No card in your starting deck has more than one of the same mana symbols in its mana cost. So you can't have like a double green in the converted mana cost.
It has to be one of. But this is a 5-color. If this is going in a 5-color deck, which is interesting because of the next part.
Well, and then it taps, and you can add Wooburg to your mana pool, and this mana can't be spent to play generic. Spent to play generic mana costs.
So no colorless cost. It has to be a certain color. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure. It's interesting. It's weird.
This doesn't take a 5-color commander spot, does it? I mean, this doesn't become your general.
Is it just like a Wooburg deck?
Yeah.
Every card in your deck has Wooburg, and you're just able to tap it, play cards for free. That could be kind of funny.
Yeah, but I think just Ramos is better than this,
They're different decks. Do you know what I think where this should have been maybe, though? Like the creature type should have been maybe elemental bird, and then you could be like card name Birds of Paradise.
Yeah.
And then it can tap for every color like this. That would have been like
a good flavorful thing.
Card, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an elk. I don't know why the fuck is it an elk? Birds of Paradise.
Could you see this being? It'd have to be in a 5-color deck, but I was gonna say being your companion.
No.
Fuck you. You're not our companion.
No, I mean that stipulation of can't be paid to, like, I think that'd be cool to put in like a Kenrith deck, but if I tap it, I can't use that mana for the abilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of like I could put the 1 green towards putting a token on. I don't see it.
But
it's too heavy of a stipulation.
Could do every single card in your deck as a 5-color deck, 5-color spell, just 5. Then you're good, right?
Maybe this, what is the, like, Fist of Suns deck? Where you're able to, like...
Oh, yeah. I don't know what the deck is.
There's the dude from Dominaria.
Oh, Morphon. Oh, no, not Morphon.
There's
Dominaria. Dominaria. Is that the...
it's a flying dude.
Oh, I'm not knowing.
You pay Wooburg, and then you can cast a card from your hand. And so this helps that.
Yeah, isn't that wizard that does that?
Yeah. He's like a 4/3 flyer.
Yeah.
For red, white, blue, colorless, and then you pay 5. So yeah, maybe that goes in. This goes in that deck, or as like a companion with it.
Yeah.
Maybe that works.
Yeah. All right.
It's too much work. Like we said earlier, we're lazy. Why do we want to work
exactly
for this kind of stuff?
Next one, Kahira the Orphan Guard. 1 Selesnya. Hey, I got it. Green, white.
You did. I'm sorry. I stepped on your touchdown call.
This is a cat beast with vigilance. Each other creature you control that's a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast gets 1/1 and has vigilance. Its companion ability is each creature in your deck, your starting deck, is a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast. So there.
I mean, I don't know what deck I would want to make a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast deck.
Well, I'm just looking at it. There are dinosaur decks, dinosaur tribal. There are elemental tribal. I guess there are cat tribals, nightmare tribals, and beast tribals.
Nightmare tribal is not going to be a thing. But this could be the side piece to a cat.
Yeah, if it's the colors there.
That one
too.
seems the most legit. And I can see this going next to the dinosaur decks as well.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Not as your commander, I wouldn't have that.
Also not as a beast or nightmare.
No, for sure.
I don't think there's really like a beast deck.
No.
I guess.
There is nightmares now because of this set, but that's about it. I mean, you have Nightmare, the actual card, but I don't think that's actually a nightmare, the creature type.
Not anymore. Yeah. Probably overcosted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a cool card. I think it's where, in that cat tribal, but also you're not going to be able to have anything other than cats.
Right.
Maybe that's how they are anyway.
Or element. Yeah, I don't think you really have a lot of other things typically.
Eruga.
Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp. Shit. Karuga the Macro Sage.
Macro sausage.
I like that joke. 3 colorless Simic.
Even the second
Dinosaur
time after we've done it.
Yeah. 3 colorless Simic 5/4 Dinosaur Hippo. It's when Karuga the Macro Sage enters the battlefield, draw a card for each other permanent you control with converted mana cost 3 or greater.
I like that.
Seems solid.
Yeah.
You have a companion. Your starting deck contains only cards with converted mana cost 3 or greater and land cards.
That's a little interesting. You're hitting only 3 cost mono rocks. That just seems a little more tough. I don't know if I'd want it as a companion, but the other part of it, when it enters, you draw a card for each other permanent you control with 3 or greater. This could be not only a 99, but this could be a commander in a way. I mean, it's just drawing. It's a draw engine.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that. And being able to, it kind of sucks that it doesn't draw off of itself.
Yeah.
Because it's other permanents. But again, this can draw you a ton of cards. Super cheap right now too at $149. It's probably too big of a stipulation. Like not doing anything for first 3 turns technically is, or first 2. Once you get that 3rd land, then you can start doing stuff. But again, you can't play Soul Ring. Sensei's Top. If it's your companion. You could do like cycling cards, adventure cards, split cards. That all works with this if it's your companion.
Mm-hmm.
So that allows you to do some stuff beforehand. But I don't know.
I like this one a little more as, the commander. This one I like the best so far of what we've seen for companions. Not necessarily as your companion, but as a card in general. Yeah,
I can see that. Just drawing a ton of cards is pretty powerful. And for 5, like, there's plenty of draw spells in Commander at 5 that draw you a fistful.
Yeah.
And this can do that. So I can see that.
All right. Next one is Kinnan Bonder Prodigy. This is green and blue for a legendary human druid. It is a 2/2. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. Then you can tap 5 green and a blue. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This one could be interesting.
It's just fucking stupid. It's just infinite mana with way too many rocks.
And you're able to do your top. Yeah. I mean, that's 7 mana to do it, but you're doubling all your stuff or adding an additional. So this could be kind of crazy.
But I mean, like, if you're infinite mana, then you're just doing this. You just deck yourself almost.
So how'd you do the infinite mana part?
I haven't really thought out how to get the green or blue, but just like Grim Monolith continues to untap.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess that breaks even. But at Mana Vault, you got anything that untaps. Basalt Monolith is the big thing. Mm-hmm. So that's like, it'll give you 4, pay 3 to untap it, and then you just get infinite colorless. Just draw a ton of cards and.
But you, like you said, you need that blue and blue and green. But I'm sure there's a way to get that as well.
But even if you just do it easily, 5 times in a turn, you're pretty far ahead at that point.
Yeah.
And then you just still have infinite mana backed up. Like this card's probably
it's going to be used,
right? Yeah, it's going to be used.
It's going to be not only like as a commander, but in blue green decks. Because that benefit that he has with whenever you tap a non-land permanent, add 1 more is pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. I mean,
good.
Or would you put it in blue green, or would you not want to just because of that? Well, you just don't play things that go infinite with it,
Yeah. I mean, if you got it, why not flaunt it? Right?
Yeah. Touché, salesman. All right.
So that's how I'm going with Calamax right now.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that deck, Mr. Climax.
Woo!
All right, so you got Mr. King Kong next.
King Kong, and that's not even an alternate art. Kogla the Titan Ape, 3 colorless green forest. This is a 7/6 ape. When Kogla the Titan Ape enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control, which is cool. Whenever Kogla attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment depending on player controls, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can play a colorless in the green, return target human you control to its owner's hand. Kogla gains indestructible until end of turn. So potentially killing a creature, probably dealing with artifacts and enchantments, and then can protect itself by returning humans to its hand. This does a lot.
Yeah, it does. I can see this going in a lot of green decks. The human part might not help as much, but there are a lot of humans. I mean, they're the most common creature type, so you could probably make use of that. But the other 2 parts of it are pretty sweet. You know, you're fighting, potentially killing something. You should be killing something with a 7/6. And then when you're attacking, you're destroying artifacts and enchantments. That's pretty sweet.
I know this card does a lot. It's 99 cents right now. And I can see it. The 3 green is what's holding this back for sure.
Yeah. Interesting that big of a creature doesn't have, I think you said that on the Discord, doesn't have trample. Yeah.
That's all right. I wouldn't want trample on here if it put it up to like 4 colorless and 3 green. This is already doing a lot, so yeah. I'll just play Rancor, right?
For sure. Well, you have all these trample counters. Maybe that's what they were thinking. You're just putting trample counters on them anyways.
That's possibly a good point.
It's possibly a good point. I think that was a compliment. Luris of the Dream Den, 1 Orzhov. Yes.
Where are you?
White, black. I need to have like a little chart.
We skipping the Planeswalker? You're right.
Right. Yeah. I need a little chart of my colors. I know it if I sit there and think about it for a second, but yeah. Anyways. Orzhov. Cat Nightmare. 3/2. It has lifelink. During each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. It is a companion, or it can be your companion. Each permanent card in your starting deck has converted mana cost 2 or less.
Yikes.
Which is weird because he's 3.
So your commander has to be 2 or less. Has to be black, white. Maybe it goes in a Karlov deck.
This is totally your commander, you know?
Yeah, being able to play stuff like I would love to have this as my commander for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then just being able to replay one thing during each of your turns. So it has to be your turn.
And it stinks that it's cast. It'd be sweet if it was play, because then you could be playing your fetch lands over and over and over again, but it does say cast.
That'd be fucking bonkers, right?
Yeah.
That'd be too good.
Yeah.
I'm going to give black-white a Crucible of Worlds on the creature.
Right.
How's that going to go?
That's better than a Crucible of Worlds that can go anywhere to anything. Yeah. No, I could see this being played.
This is a really cool card. I love this card.
Yeah. But I wouldn't play it as my companion. That just seems such a handcuff. What are you going to... How are you going to win with 2... It'd be interesting, but 2 cost spells
count
for white and black? Yeah.
But X spells, because it's X is 0 in the converted mana cost, so you could do that.
Sure.
But yeah, you're limiting yourself quite a bit there.
Yeah.
And I haven't tested any of these companion ideas out.
If this is going to be a companion, might as well just make this one your commander, so much better being your commander, because then you have access to everything, Yeah. Don't put this as your companion unless you're crazy.
You're crazy. There's plenty of people that are crazy out there.
Yeah. They want to be tested. So the next one we'll just mention, but we can't. Didn't we talk about this one being banned already?
No, we haven't. It's banned. This next one is banned.
We'll just
Lutri, the Spell Chaser. It's an otter, which looks really fucking sweet, but it's banned.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna skip it.
Yep.
All right. Why don't you do the next one since that one was banned?
Nethroi. Nethroi, Apex of Death. This is 2 colorless, white, black, green. It is a 5/5 cat nightmare beast. Yeah, they do play around with the nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever this, it's a 5/5 death touch lifelink. Whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creatures' total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And its mutate is 4 colorless Selesnya Swamp. So
interesting.
This seems
I like the
solid.
Yeah, I mean, as your commander, you're putting this in a mutate deck. This is one of the few that the mutate is higher because its mutate ability is ridiculous. But if you
every time you mutate it, jeez.
So I got a question. I thought about this today. If we talked about mutate on the first or 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and how the ability works that if it's targeting a creature and they kill the creature, it still comes out into play. My question is, does it get the mutate ability? Because the creature isn't there, so I don't think you get that mutate ability. Even though you cast it for its mutate cost, I don't think you get that ability, right?
Oh, I don't think it officially mutated.
Yeah, because you kill.
I don't think so.
You think of the creature as it actually is mutating. They kill it. This just comes out as the creature. Even if the cost is less, well, in this case it'd be more. You don't get the mutate. Even though you're casting it for the mutate, it doesn't actually mutate, right?
The other thing with mutate is that when me and Adam were discussing stuff today, it's you have technically haste. So if you're casting Nethroi for the mutate and you're putting it on whatever creature, you get to attack with that creature. It's not like even if you put Nethroi on the top or the bottom, you just get to attack with it.
It's stipulate that by that creature
that has haste,
but that creature has to have had gone through a turn. You know, it has to not have summoning sickness. So it can't be like you cast a Land of War Elves and then you cast this on top of Land of War Elves that same turn. Yeah, that definitely does not have haste at that point. But ideally, when you're casting this, the creature has gone through a turn and it doesn't gain summoning sickness.
Yeah, and I think that's the major point. It's not haste. It's just whatever creature that you mutated is still that creature, and it has all of those.
Yeah.
Not necessarily abilities, but it's going to have the abilities at the top and the bottom. But wherever you put that creature, just mutating, it still has it doesn't have summoning sickness anymore.
Just think that its heart, its heart is still the same. It hasn't changed. It just has a mutation to it. So it's not summon sickness anymore. It just now has another body part. So you can attack with another body part.
Like it's more like it makes me feel like it's more like an aura this way as well.
Mm-hmm.
To whereas it doesn't necessarily affect that.
Yeah.
Good, sweet. I could run this as a commander for sure.
For sure, yeah.
I can see myself. I don't think I'm going to because
there's too many. There's too many things to pick.
This one's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like it. I like that one. Next one is Obosh, the Prey Piercer. 3 and hang on. Rakdos. If a source you control with an odd converted mana cost would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that player, permanent or player instead. Companion, your starting deck only contain odd converted mana costs and land cards. So we have our odds and we have our evens.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Again, I think I'd rather just have this as my commander so that I can continually have this in play and like at my disposal.
Yeah. But
with a ton of odd converted mana cost.
The companion is interesting because it's trying to add that extra card to your deck, but you just got to meet the stipulations of it. But it's like a lot of times these are just better to be your commander. I get that having, if you think about it, you have 7 cards when you start plus your commanders, you have 8. Now they're trying to add a 9th card that does help. But the stipulations sometimes are so high that doesn't work as well. So I'd much rather have this, like you said, as a commander than my companion.
I think it's sweet. Doubling damage for 5? That seems awesome.
And they fixed that. They fixed that so much because you remember like Furnace Wrath or whatever, where everybody's damage is doubled. So it's just like, man, do I really want people to just kill me? But they've... Yeah. Okay. So next card is pretty ridiculous. And Derek made this deck.
Yeah. Rael the Everwise. It's a colorless blue and a red for an 0/3 human wizard. Rael the Everwise gets +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. And then this is the main part. Pay attention. Whenever you discard one or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards.
Yikes. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's good.
Wheels are going to be really good here. Any of the other discard stuff. But it's the first time each turn. One or more cards for the first.
So it's the first time every turn. But just a Faithless Looting draws you 2, discards 2, draw another 2 for 1 red mana.
This is just silly.
Holy moly. That's a lot of card draw just off that one. I think there's careful study, just thinking, like you're saying, like a wheel effect. If you have like 4 cards in your hand, you're drawing 7, but you discarded 4, so you're really drawing 11. That's better than what other people are doing. And then you're just making her a huge. It can be a threat too, like an X3.
Yeah, if somebody's wide open and you have that many instants and sorceries in there, this could be brutal.
You can get in that way. So, but yeah, she seems sweet. She definitely seems buildable.
And this could fit in 99 as well. Like I could see this going to my Niv Mizzet deck. Necrosar, I would say most Necrosar decks. I don't think mine would work as much. I do have Wheel of Fortune, Windfall, the big guys, but I don't have a lot of drawing to discard, like Faithless Looting and all that stuff.
Oh, this is going to be really good in Locust God.
Yeah, it is. Oh, all right, but yeah,
that'll be good in this one too. But whatever.
Yeah, no, it's pretty ridiculous. I'll probably be playing this card quite a bit in my, like I said, it'll go in my Niv Mizzet deck for sure. Should be interesting. All right, next one is Snapdax, Apex of the Hunt. 1 red, white, and black, and then we have a Dinosaur Cat Nightmare. Lots of cats with all our white. It has double strike. It is a 3/5. Whenever this creature mutates, it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls, and you gain 4 life. Its mutate cost is 2 Rakdos, white. This is decent. The 4 damage when it mutates deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and you gain the 4 life. I like the double strike on it too. So it has a little bit of everything. So you have the damage. I don't know which one would that
removal,
fit.
Some life gain, a threat, relatively cheap, like a
4 for all that. For
colorless red, white, black 3/5 double strike is good.
Yeah,
I can see myself building with this.
I was gonna say commander
really
wise. Yep.
Yeah.
Voltron-y kind of type thing there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we have an ooze. What ooze do we have?
Mori the Collector. 2 colorless. Golgari. This is a 4/5 ooze, and then when Umori enters the battlefield, choose a card type. Spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. And then this is also a companion, so each non-land card in your starting deck shares a card type if it's your companion. So
tribal,
it's
got to fit in a tribal deck, basically.
I think it has to be a creature deck.
Oh, card type. Yes. No, not like the creature type. It's card type. You're right.
Oh yeah, it's card type, and because your commander has to meet the
unless it's a planeswalker deck.
Effect, so
it could be.
Yeah, an all planeswalker deck. Ooh. You could have like one of the gods be your commander, so that's like creature or enchantment. You could go that route. I think it has to be a creature deck.
Each non-land card in your starting deck shares a card type. But it wouldn't be, it would have to choose one or the other, wouldn't it? You'd have to either go, if you did the god, it'd have to all be either creatures or all enchantments because they each have to share it, right?
Yep. Yeah. So, but like it has to be one of those, whatever's attached to your commander. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Like your commander has to meet those conditions. So you can't have like an all instant deck.
Yeah.
Because your commander's not an instant.
So
right?
companion wise, I don't think this works well. As a commander, still a little meh on that one. Maybe in a tribal deck, this would work pretty well. But still,
just like a creature heavy or whatever heavy.
Yeah.
Because you could be like, you could put this into an artifact deck, and then your artifacts cost one less. It's kind of expensive for that.
I guess choose a card type. You're right. Yeah, so you do a card type. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this one in general. This one doesn't stick out.
Do anything for you?
No.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's other things that make your spells cost one less that are cheaper than this. That I don't know.
This seems to be decently expensive. The nice thing is that it does have some flexibility there.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes, you get to choose when it comes to this.
Yeah.
The others are like artifacts or instant sorceries, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So at least this one has a little bit of flexibility in that regard.
All right. Next one, Vadroc's Apex of Thunder. This is one of our cheapest mutators. Blue, red, and white for a elemental dinosaur cat. We have flying first strike 3/3. Whenever this creature mutates, you may cast target non-creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Its mutate is one. Selesnya, red, right?
No.
Azorius. Dang it. This is why I don't guess.
You did great.
Selesnya is the green, white. Damn it. Damn you, Scuba Steve. This one, mutate wise, seems okay. Flying 3/3 for 3. Flying first strike 3/3.
The first time I looked at it, I was like, it's not the next Snapcaster Mage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the more I look at it, I'm like, it's kind of a threat at the end of it. If I know there's that octopus mutate card that seems to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't know how many mutate cards you're going to have in blue, red, white. Like that's the thing is once you get the set, then you can start going oh, I like that. I do like that. This could make a deck, but Vadroc as your commander and then just mutate onto things and be able to recast stuff. Maybe this just works well in a Savine deck, where you're able to just mutate one time, recast something from your graveyard, double that up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's your commander and you just mutate it a couple times.
Not exciting, but
goes on the mutate as well.
I don't know if I would never. Not never, but I wouldn't. I don't see myself building a deck with this one.
I can see myself doing that. I kind of like this ability. I think it's just
you just got to you either got to have enough mutates. Yeah, you just either have to have enough mutates in your deck, or just plan on casting this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Killing it and casting it. So
for 4 mutate, that's not bad, but for 6, I don't know if I want to pay 6 for that.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely not 8. That's just it's only really a good return on the first time you do it.
Yeah.
Oh, because then you mutate it the first time, and then the second time you just pay 5 for 3/3 flying first strike, and hope you can mutate it some other way.
Yeah,
I don't know. Good at this game.
I'm not good. I'm not good at this game.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm so hot right now. All right, we got our last
Do I
couple
get to talk
cards.
about Winona Ryder?
Yep, you got Winona.
Winota, Joiner of Forces. This one's just going to be Winona Ryder for me.
Winona.
2 colorless, red-white, 4/4 human warrior, legend. Whenever a non-human creature you control attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a human creature card from among them into the battlefield, tapped and attacking. It gains indestructible until end of turn. Put the rest of the cards on the bottom of your library in a random order.
So this is interesting because you have to have a mix of humans and non-humans, to hit what you want to hit here. So this has an interesting build type to it. I like the idea because you don't have to attack with this. This can just be out, and then you attack with a beast, and then you're revealing a human. Then you don't have to worry about that human dying, but it's also tapped and attacking, which is really interesting.
More pressure on the board.
Yeah. I like the idea. Just like, are you 50-50 with humans and non-humans? Just so you can, because it's whenever a non-human. So if you have multiple non-humans attacking, you can do this multiple times and then having humans attack,
Yeah, and that seems like a lot of pressure, and it seems really solid. Like,
this could be fun.
Is this not as a commander? Like, if you played this as like a sorcery, a 2 colorless red-white sorcery, if you like that'd be a good card, right?
Right.
That's a ton of like advantage as a card, and in red-white. So that seems like a forced stipulation that's well worth it. If it was just, what if it was a companion? It was like half your deck, half your creatures have to be human, the other half have to be non-human. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I'll do that shit.
Yeah,
for sure.
But the cool thing with this is a lot of times you might see this card and it has to be one of the ones attacking. The cool thing is you don't have to. You just have to get it out into play and let your other stuff do their thing. And it just sits back as a blocker. A 4/4 for 4. That's pretty decent right there.
Then, yeah, giving that indestructible to the human that's cheated in play is super nice, too, because most of the time you just be like, well, it's a little dinky nothing. It's just going to die.
Yeah.
In this way, it's just like, well, maybe it doesn't die. Probably doesn't die.
Right. No, this could be could be interesting deck to build. This one piques my interest a little bit.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome to see if you build with that. Winona Ryder is the card.
Winona. It has Stranger Things, her and Stranger Things, just in the upside
exactly
down.
What the card's going on. Yeah.
All right, so we have Super Turtle as our next one, which is Yadaro Wandering Monster. It is 5 and 2 red for a dinosaur turtle. This is an 8/8 with trample and haste. It has cycling, 1 colorless and a red. Whenever you cycle it, shuffle it into your library from your graveyard. If you cycled this card, or if you cycled a card named this 4 or more times this game, put it into the battlefield from your graveyard instead. I see this more not in Commander as much. I mean, it's still good, I guess, as a creature. I think we had talked about it before. You had mentioned Perforos, the bronze-blooded, would be pretty good with this, but not for the cycling. Okay. It's just more for the trample and the haste 8/8 that you're playing, Yeah,
but even the cycling's nice when you're like, well, I got a fat hand. I need to draw like into another land or some artifact ramp and get to the fat. Like this allows you to play with it early or late, and if you do cycle it early, you have a chance to draw it later.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really cool card, and I do like it. I don't know if I have a place where I'd put it,
because you wouldn't play it necessarily. Put it in your deck for the 8/8 trample haste part, really. I mean, you would. I don't know. I'm like, because the continuous potential of cycling is kind of nice, like you're saying, like cycle it, potentially get it again. It's almost like a card draw in a way, you know?
That's how I would see it. Maybe it's something worth in like the Victus Asmati deck, where early game I don't have a lot going on. I need to draw something, and then I can just draw it. And then later on, it's in my deck, and maybe I cheat it into play.
Mm-hmm.
Does enough for me, but the cycling part definitely makes me piques my interest, and I like it. It's a haste turtle. Come on.
Right. Well, I mean, it'll go in. It's a fast turtle. It somehow has haste.
The only thing that I regret about this is that this card should have went into a Mario themed art set, and then this could be the red turtle, and then you have like a blue turtle, blue flying shell. Like,
it's a good point. It does look like that a little bit.
They missed an opportunity there.
They got to talk to Nintendo about that one.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So, but I think maybe they just reprinted if that ever happens again.
Yeah. All right. You're on the second to last card here.
Oh, if this even works. But Yarion Sky Nomad, 3 colorless Azorius. It is a 4/5, and whenever Yarion enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control. Return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step.
That's interesting. The own and control.
Yeah. Return those cards to the. It's weird because they always, when it comes to blinking cards, I feel like it always says return those cards under your control.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the next end step. So if you were blinking somebody else's creature, they normally say come into play under owner's control.
Right, but that's already saying here? Because you own it and control it. I guess how I'm reading it is permanents you own and control. You have to hit in both those stipulations. So you may own it, but might not control it. So you can't bounce that one. But
most of the time when the wording afterwards, so return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step.
So
should almost say return those cards back to owner's control. So even if you were bouncing something of your control, but it was somebody else's, those bouncing normally go back to the owner's control.
Right, but I think what this is saying here is exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control. So if you don't own it, but you're controlling it, you can't bounce that. You get what I'm saying? So if I stole one of your creatures and it's on my side, I can't bounce that because I control it, but I don't own it. It's saying own and control. It's not own and or control. You have to have both stipulations.
You're right. So if they own it, you can't bounce it back to you, and if you own their thing, you can't bounce it, and it goes back to them. Okay, yeah, I was reading it wrong. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're right.
So you have to own it and control it, which is going to be most of your stuff.
They typically do say return it back to the battlefield under owner's control. So you're totally right. That's weird that this is kind of a new wording of this.
I think you're right, because since it says own and control, there doesn't have to be that stipulation because it's coming under yours, control.
No matter what, yeah. So, but then the companion part, can we even do that in Commander? I don't think we can.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Your starting deck contains at least 20 cards more than your minimum deck size.
Yeah.
I don't think we can.
Yeah. So right there, he can't be your companion. But as his blinking ability, I dig that, because if you're putting it in a blink deck, you just have something else that blinks as well, and you can get continuous blinking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can break this.
Go back and forth.
Yeah.
That seems
and you just have ETB effects with all your other things you're blinking, so that they come back into play on the next end step, and then because it's the beginning of the next, it's not yours, so you can keep doing this on everybody's end step. You just have to have one thing that blinks something else. Yeah, that could be crazy.
No, it wouldn't go back and forth. You're right. Because the next end step, like once your cards come back into play, you're beyond.
Yep. So then it would be the next person's end step. So it would just keep happening at the end of everybody's end step.
could be a neat little loop so that you don't get wrath.
Yeah.
Right?
Only half of your creatures, or one set of your creatures die, either this guy or your blinked ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
That seems kind of cool.
Yeah. All right, and then the last one is Zerda, the Dawn Waker. This is.
I guess would you play Euron as your commander?
I could see.
I think I would.
I could totally see playing that one. I like this one a lot. Yeah. But the Zidra, the Dawn Waker. It is 1 Boros with an element. It's an elemental fox. 3/3. And let's see here. Activated abilities that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in the cost to less than 1 mana. You can tap it. Target creature can't block this turn. It can be your companion. Each permanent card in your starting deck has an activated ability. That could be interesting. I could see this one being an interesting companion to have, because it's just like everything has activated abilities. That'd be kind of
reducing all of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, equipment. And one thing now that's there, there's a card from the commander sets that we totally fucked up on.
Oh yeah.
The 3 mana rock that comes into play tapped. So we should point that out right now. We were wrong.
We were wrong. Wait.
You can tap it for land. We stated that I don't think so. But yeah, tapping a land for mana is an activated ability. And for some reason, it did not click there.
Yep. So we were wrong.
It's a really, 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 really good card.
Yeah, it's going in almost every deck pretty much.
And Zerda here is awesome.
Well, one thing really quick I just thought of.
It's going into my 99.
Oh, wait, activate. Yeah. It could go. This could be probably one of the better ones or more fun ones to have as your companion. Like one of the few that I would actually do that as a companion.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do this one as your commander? You could do this one as a commander too.
Yeah, either or. Again, in the 99, I'm excited to put this in my Kenrith deck. Mm-hmm. Just another.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Thing that reduces the cost.
Yeah, so you got 3 things really now. That really adds a lot to that.
Technically 4 too. So there's Hearthstone that reduces all activated abilities by 1. For creatures, I think. But then there's Biomancer's Familiar, Training Grounds, and then Zerda here.
That's pretty good. They keep adding that in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dig it. Hey.
How long did we go?
An hour and 15. Yeah, I was just about to say, hey, guess what? We have a normal length episode. We're good at this stuff.
I promise the next one's going to be shorter.
You're probably not getting 2 episodes this week because this is going to be it right here. Maybe next week we'll have 2 episodes because it'll be short.
Well, that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
All right. Well, let's end this so we can move on to the next one. But you guys can catch us next week. We will be going over the top 10 cards from Ikoria, not legendary. We're going to be talking about the top 10 cards that we think are good for Commander. Fucking 10. Yeah. We will catch you guys next week.
So listen.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
What is our problem?
God.
What is our problem?